Hello class, I hope that your summer session has been going along well so far. From my perspective, the majority of you are doing a great job. You're turning the assignments in on time, you're communicating with me when you have questions or seeing something where maybe I messed up on, and you're communicating with me if there's something going on that I need to know about, or if you're going to be late with an assignment or something. So great job for that. As you may have noticed, this week we're kind of straddling two units, right? We're finishing up the Unit 1 essay, which is due on Wednesday, but in the meantime, I'm also introducing Unit 2 with the assignment for today. Today is Monday, June 13th. So today's assignment introduces Unit 2, Unit 3, or I'm sorry, Wednesday's assignment is the Unit 1 essay due, and then on Friday we're back to Unit 2. Unit 2 is a pretty quick unit. You'll see that a week from today, you already have a draft of the annotated bibliography due, and then next Wednesday, the final is due. So this is going to be a quick moving unit, but it's a summer class and everything moves quick. So from here on out, I'm going to talk about Unit 2 just to give you a quick introduction to it. I gave you a slideshow about it with the Monday assignment. We'll look back on the Monday at the assignment that's due for tonight in just a minute. But I want to make sure you're all looking ahead at the prompts so you understand what our goals are and what we're working for. So Unit 2 is not a paper. It's what's called an annotated bibliography. For an annotated bibliography, think of it as like a glorified works cited page, right? And so you're going to have to find 4 sources. These sources are the research that you'll use for your Unit 3 essay. Okay, so once you choose your topic that you'll research in Unit 2, that topic is going to be kept through Unit 3, and you'll use the sources you find in Unit 2 to write your Unit 3 essay. So for the annotated bibliography assignment, for each of your 4 sources, you're going to do a brief summary, talk about how it contributes to your understanding of the topic. So kind of how does it answer your research question? Think about how it connects and conflicts with other sources, and then the role the source could play in your essay, and finally, why you trust this source. So there's 5 different things I'm going to be looking for in the annotation of each source. So you'll do an annotation like this, including each of these 5 elements, for 4 sources, and then you're going to write this section called Introducing the Issue. And I'm not going to read all these goals for the paragraph, but basically you're going to be writing just another paragraph, kind of explaining to me what topic is, why you think it's an important topic. I have lots of resources to help you understand annotated bibliography. There's a chapter on annotated bibliography here to read. For me, I think example is worth 1,000 words. And so included on this assignment is an example of an annotation, right? So here is an example. Here's the article, Lockdowns and School Shutdowns May Make Youngsters Sicker. All right, long title. And then here is what the annotation of this source looks like. You'll see it's highlighted to correspond to the different colors. So there's the summary part. It talks about how it adds to your understanding of the issue. Then the blue, how it relates to other sources. Then the role this source is going to play in your essay, and then finally why it's a credible source. So this one is highlighted in colors just so you can see the 5 different things that are needed to include in each annotation. So this is an annotated bibliography. There's a second source, a third source, fourth source. And this one, I think, doesn't have that last paragraph. It's just simply the annotations. But hopefully that gives you an idea about what I'm looking for, what you're going to need to do for this assignment. So that's the annotated bibliography assignment. Resources that will help you are the chapter on annotated bibliography, as well as looking at the sample. And I want to also take you to the Purdue OWL website. So to find this, I Googled Purdue OWL MLA, right? Because MLA is our citation format that we're going to be using. Part of doing the annotated bibliography well is being aware of MLA style and the style guidelines. This will also help you for your Unit 1 essay, right? Where you have to do a works cited page. If that's something new to you, citing sources, you're going to want to take a little time exploring this website. And again, I just Googled Purdue OWL, P-U-R-D-U-E, OWL, O-W-L, it stands for Online Writing Lab, and then the letters M-L-A, because that relates to, that's our style guides sign. I'm being distracted by these crazy ads. There are unfortunately a lot of videos on this site. So you can mostly just ignore them. So this first page just gives you, again, kind of just a general overview of MLA style, what it is, the formatting of it. What I like to do is come over here to the bar on the left. And so then if you have questions about how to do the works cited page, this tells you basic format. Most of the time we'll be spending time here in the electronic sources area because most of the things you're going to be looking at are online. If you want to know about in-text citations, this is great to do the in-text citations. I can see already on some of your outlines that you need to brush up on in-text citations. And so this will give you some of the rules and some examples on MLA in-text citations. And then the other page I think is going to be important is the MLA works cited for electronic sources. This will tell you some basic guidelines for electronic sources and then give you an example of how to do them. I would say the most important examples are going to be a page on a website, right? So this is like if you find an article through a Google search, how you would cite it with the author's last name, the title of the article, the publisher of the website, and then the URL. If there is a date for the article, you put it here after the publisher of the website. If there's no date on the article, then you put the date you accessed it. So page on a website is going to be an important thing for you to know how to cite. And then the other one is an article in an online scholarly journal. That's what we're using the library databases for, to search the online scholarly journals. And so this tells you about how to cite an article from an online scholarly journal. Sorry, I said that wrong. A subscription is the one. An article from an online database is what we want. Oh, I'm sorry. The online database. And you can tell the difference because you see this one has got the database name on it. Wiley Online Library. This one is from the database ProQuest. And so that's how I can tell that you found your source from a library database, is that you actually put the name of the database on the works cited listing. So again, make sure you're looking at an article from an online database and then an article either in a web magazine or the page on a website. Those are two about the same. So that tells you a little bit about how to do your works cited page. The other thing you might look at is just the general works cited page basic format. I think on here there's going to be an example for you to look at, but it gives you, no, I don't see an example, but it gives you all the details. I know that there's an example on here someplace. Yeah, sample works cited page, a sample MLA paper. So if you're a visual learner, you want to look at those things, I think that's a really good thing to do. And the Purdue OWL website is kind of where I go if I have any questions on how to do MLA style. And I want to be honest with you, I have taught MLA style for 15 years. I can't keep all the rules in my head. And so if I'm writing my own thing with the works cited page, I go to the Purdue OWL website to make sure it's all done correctly. So there's no shame. And in fact, I encourage you to always double check your sources, look at the Purdue OWL website to make sure you're doing things correctly. All right, let's see. We've got 9 minutes, and I said I was going to try to do this in less than 10. So the last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is just today's assignment. I know some of you have already done this, but I just want to say a few words. This assignment has got a lot of videos on how to use our library resources to find sources using the Find It box. I know it's a lot of videos, and now I'm making another video, but I guess that's, breaking up the reading you have to do is watching a lot of videos instead. But you see the homework, even though you have to watch a lot of videos, what you have to write is actually pretty short. Mostly I want you thinking about what is the topic that you're going to be writing about for your Unit 3 essay and researching about for Unit 2. This topic can be kind of related to what you did your first essay on, or you could totally switch gears. Some ideas for topics that students have done before is they look at any particular groups of students that were mentioned in the article that might struggle. I've had students look at Black and Hispanic students and their college success. I've had people look at first-generation students in college success, students with disabilities and their success, immigrant students and their success. So that's some issues that students have done. They've also looked further into the issue of student debt and how that affects students and their ability to be successful at college. I'm trying to think of some of the other things. But anything that you saw and stood out to you in the reading and that you want to research further, again, it can be a very different topic than you did for Unit 1, or maybe you want to research in depth. For Unit 2, you're going to be finding all new sources. You're not using any of the sources in your annotated bibliography that we used for Unit 1. You can, when we get to Unit 3, use the sources from Unit 1 as sources in your essay, but I don't want you doing annotations on those sources. I want you to be finding new sources and adding to just your information on your topic. Okay, so you're going to share your research question, and I give you some kind of frames to put it in. My interest topic about higher education, broadly speaking, is blank. Questions you have about the problem are this. And then tell me how good you're feeling about if you think these are good research questions. I want you to think about all the videos and things you've learned and how you feel about beginning the research process. And then question 3 asks you to talk about the issues that you're thinking about writing about and why you think you might want to write about them and why you think they're important. In addition to answering those 3 questions, there's a quiz that's over the readings and videos. So that's the assignment that's due tonight on Monday. Hopefully this gives you a good overview. I'll be looking at all your assignments that you've turned in tomorrow and giving you any comments, checking your research questions. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. And I think I just went just a little bit over 10 minutes, but thanks for watching and keep up the good work. Bye.